Hello everyone, can you hear me? We're not ready to go yet, we're just checking things. Okay, there's Mum's friend, says all good and can hear us, which is good, isn't it? I'll give it 2 or 3 minutes and I'll start speaking. First things first, as always, at this time, well actually, I'm about 4 hours overdue, so it gets earlier, doesn't it, during lockdown, have you noticed? I won't have a drink until 7. I won't have a drink until 6. I won't have a drink until 5 a.m. It's dangerous, isn't it? Anyway, I'll make these announcements quite often in the next 10 minutes or so before we get going. But I'm Jonathan Pearce from BBC and other people. But more importantly for this, I'm Lily's uncle. And I set up the Lily Foundation with Liz, my sister-in-law, Lily's mum. Only seems like yesterday, really. We were drunk in a beach bar in Spain and bereft and didn't know what to do. We'd never heard of mitochondrial disease, and it was like a horrible dark tunnel. And we thought, right, let's try and do something. We created the Lily Foundation, and we got Helen, his sister, my other sister-in-law, on board, and my accountant John Simons, and various other people. And we created this charity and started arranging events, and here we are, a long time on now, and we raised £4.5 million. But we need your help really at this time because all our events have been cancelled due to Corona. Our big annual ball, our fight night, with people go in the boxing ring and get sponsored, etc. Our flight night, which is a really good darts night up at Victoria in London. We couldn't do a golf day this year. All these events have gone because we're in shutdown. That means a hell of a lot to us, and people keep suffering from mitochondrial disease. And one thing I've noticed during the quiz, and maybe not all of you know what mitochondrial disease is, but it's in each cell, you've got a tiny little thing, tiny little sort of a battery in each cell. And if that goes wrong, then the cell dies, and there's a knock-on effect, a domino effect, and that can kill organs, and there's no cure for it. And we thought Lily was the only sufferer, and of course our world opened up as a tunnel opened up, and we realised there were lots and lots of families, and we've been able to reach out. And Liz and her team do fantastic work. And you know, I've never heard any mitochondrial suffering family complain. When you meet them, they're so brave, they're so fantastic. And if you can get to any of our events and meet these people with their kids, and some of them aren't kids anymore, they've grown with us, which is fantastic. They run marathons with us, which is unbelievable. Then please come to the events, come to the Lily Family Day, which is in the summer normally, and it would be a great experience for you, and you will open your heart to these poor people who have been in this dreadful situation. You know, we might never find a cure in our lifetime, but we hope to. And meanwhile, the research goes on. The doctors and nurses need to be funded, and we need your help for that. We've got about 11 minutes to go. And Matt, you're right, these things normally Thursdays, but they're not. It's Wednesday tonight because there's a big thing on telly tomorrow. We didn't want to clash with that. It's the Comic Relief Big Night In, so thanks for joining us. And evening, everyone, says Corrine Roberts. Evening, Corrine. Thank you very much for joining us. Brad the Lad, thank you very much for the praise of Match of the Day, and hope to see Match of the Day back. His team's Manchester United. No, that's a bit cruel. Well done, Brad the Lad. And thank you very much for your kind comments as well, especially because I've just taken the nick. Now, listen, if you've just joined us or tuned in, this is the Lily Foundation quiz. It's Wednesday, not Thursday this week. Thanks ever so much to Josh holding fort in the last couple of weeks. I thought they did a brilliant job. We need your help. We need you to donate money. There's a Just Giving link on the YouTube. Or via our website, the Lily Foundation website. You can Google that and you can find the website. Any amount makes a difference. A quid. It says here on the notes I've been given, £5 is the price of a pint and a packet of crisps. It isn't, unless you're in some weird place. I went into a pub in London about 18 months ago, and the Guinness was over a tenner. It's unbelievable. Please subscribe to the Lily Foundation YouTube channel to receive notifications of the events coming up when lockdown finishes, and they are great events. We've got a comedy night in January or February, I think it is, the Comedy Store in London. It is just unbelievable. All the very best acts in the country are on that as well. The donate link is up now on the side of your picture if you're doing YouTube, just.ly/Lily5. Okay, Brad the Lad says, happy with good banter. They are doing well, Manchester United, are quite right, actually. And I was one that kept saying they've got to keep faith with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ruth, big shout out to Ruth from Norfolk. Callum Wells, support from the Wells family from Warlingham. It's the sort of epicenter of the Lily Foundation. They're all very close in Warlingham. My family, Liz's family, they all live about 3 seconds from each other. Very close family. I can't really talk. I'm from Cornwall, and as you know, we're very close Cornish people. My granddad is also my auntie. So thank you very much for helping us over the last couple of weeks. Please share. Please tell your friends and family. Share the link to the quiz. Encourage your friends to join in too. The charity, if you want to know more about the charity and what we do, www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk. And if I'm just conscious, I keep dropping my hand to scratch my leg, and you might think something weird going on underneath the table. It isn't, but we've got horseflies down here, and I've been out in the garden, as a lot of you may have been, if you're lucky enough to have a garden during this fantastic weather during the break, and the horseflies are shocking. Katie says, can't believe you get the tech working. Love from the Better Manager. Now the Better Manager is a man called Mark Winder, who coached our football teams down here with me over a long time. And we had a very, very good team that won a lot of awards and a lot of cups. And it was, normally you say it was down to the players or down to the other coaches, and you give them praise. Actually, it was down to me, just me. No one else involved. It was me. Spencer, from Spencer and Lucy Speed. It's Spencer's other half. Lucy is a patron of the Lily Foundation. Lucy, you have known from EastEnders and various things. She was in the Danny Baker series as well about his life, his early life. She's fantastic, Lucy. She does brilliant. And Spencer and Lucy say they were rubbish at quizzes, but love playing for Lily. Sue Roberts is a quiz on YouTube. There is an external link. It is on YouTube. Big shout out to Lucy Pond and Ruth Wilgris. Brad the Lad asked me if I know which game I can do, and is it decided in advance? It is decided in advance. We can't decide it. The big bosses decide that. A very fantastic man who I know will be playing tonight, called Andrew Clement. He's in a team called the Grumbling Gits. I'm normally in that team, and we do pretty well. We have done. Quiz is coming up here at 7:45. Lucy Pond, Team Pond here. Thanks for all you do. Thank you very much, Lucy. Michael Rutt, JP, good luck. He says, big shoes to fill. It is. And they've done fantastic well for us. Josh and Alex. Again, we've been so lucky with support from comedians, people in football, actors, actresses over the years. Mark Newell, big shout out, evening all. Well done, Mark. Alexandra Wood. Hello from the Wood family. Alessandra, I should say. They're ready to go. This is from Phil B. The Shrimpers are gods. The Grumbling Gits are ready. I know who that is. He's a man who looks extraordinarily like the Hood, actually. from Thunderbirds. He's one of the big bosses at BBC. Amanda Norris, she says they're rubbish too, but ready to go. Ruby Head, got 2 friends who live in Warlingham. It is a small world. Andrew Wilkinson, another big friend of the Liddy Foundation with his massive family. Lots of love from Bristol. Emily Powell. Hello, Mito Warrior Vicky and Outhouse Karen, John and Emily ready to play. Let's do this. Adam Skidmore, hello from the Worcester. Eddie family and Wolves' biggest fan now. They're cousins, Cornish cousins. We're all, as I say, Cornish cousins. And so they ran a golf day for us up there in Worcester for many years. Good evening, Scott Kavanagh, Sally Burley. Burley's Reese's grandparents ready to play. All on Grandad tonight. His name's nothing about sport. Chess Dibble, Team Dibble in the house. I've got to pause because I've got to get my daughter's phone running again because they're sending me messages and telling me when I can go. Well, I'll give you all this information again in 4 minutes' time when we start the quiz, and I'll say hello properly. But in the meantime, I'll have another drink. Yeah. That's very good. Brad the Lad says he wants to become a commentator for Match of the Day or be a football referee. Football referee. I love him. Hi from Scott and AM from Bookham. Sorry, the kids we used to coach, by the way, they used to say to us, what should we say to referees? And I used to say, why talk to them? All referees out there, I love you really. Barry Comerford, hi from Motherwell. Andrew Smith's family gathered in Warlingham. Raina Connolly, Stanley and his mum ready to quiz. Big shout out to them. We're nearly ready to go. Don Biscuit, hey John Pearce, our team, the South Coast Suffragettes. Jabba the Gut. Oh, Jabba's been every week, I think, so far, and done very well, I think. So hi from Ipswich, getting geared up. Doma, welcome on Team Super Leeds. Will Leeds go up when the season restarts? They've waited long enough. I used to have Leeds posters up on the wall when I was a kid, and Bristol City's posters when I was a kid, and then changed permanently to Bristol City when I was about 11 or 12. But we used to go up from Cornwall to watch Leeds at Ellen Road. My dad knew Reevy and Eddie Gray, one of my all-time favourites. And I have to say at this point in time, well, we've got a couple of minutes. I'm dreadfully sad. I was to hear about Norman Hunter, who came down to Bristol City, and I knew him there. And he was so hard on the pitch, iron-willed, and you know, Norman bites your legs. That really belies the skill he had. He was a wonderful footballer. He could pass through the eye of a needle. Great influence, great presence, and off the pitch he was so kind and gentle. And he was a wonderful human being, and taken far too early from us. So, Norman. Ruby Head, salt and pepper ready. Katie, how many beers have you had already? She's from the Winder family. Not many. Joe and Gemma, formerly from Harvey's Bar and Leicester, tea ready up in the High Peaks. Well done, you. You served me a fair few of these in your time. Susie Sager, let's do this. Team Sager and Wood. Doma, R.I.P. Norman. Well done, Doma. He was a great man. The Flu Fighters are here. McCarr. Big shout out, Paul Agate. Big Paul. With some golf mates there joining us on Zoom. Nicky Hamilton Patterson up the irons from Paul Cullen, that is. Scott Walker, another message about Norman Hunter with a big tear. Big Dennis Logie, Big Dennis ready. Joseph Jakubowski. Laura Jakubowski would like to say hi to her brother Paul, who moved to Norway a month ago. Missed him so much. I'm a Mito warrior. Keep fighting mitochondrial disease. That's what we need to do. Are we ready to go? We've got about another minute, and then I'll do all this again. Okay. Hello, Lily family. Third time lucky, says Kerry Vella. Maybe they got over 10 points. Listen, it isn't the winning that matters. It's just the taking part, unless you want to put your medals on the table. And that's just one of the 6 Sony Awards that I've won. Just one. Anyway, there you are. Big shout out to the Brooks family for Verity Brooks. The people at the BBC watching this will be groaning now, absolutely groaning, I can tell you. Hi, Jonathan, Susan Day Griffiths. Hi, Jonathan, our daughter Poppy's a Mito warrior. Keep going, Poppy, keep going. Hello from Sainsbury's. We're nearly right. We're 7:45. We've got to go now. So, Welcome everyone to the Third Lily Foundation weekly quiz. My name is Jonathan Pearce. You might know me from Match of the Day or BT Sport, but mainly BBC Match of the Day. What a fantastic program it is, and I'm honoured every week to be a part of that great program. But the greatest honour I have in my life is that I helped found the Lily Foundation. Out of sad circumstances, my niece Lily was taken away from us tragically. She was the daughter of my brother and sister-in-law Dave and Lizzie. Lizzie is the CEO of the Lily Foundation, and her team have done extraordinarily well over the years to raise £4.5 million with the kind donation. People like yourselves, you've done so much for us. People like Dave Evans and Logan Foster and Sue Roberts and Susie Sager, they're all with us tonight. Susie's part of the Lily Foundation board, I can tell you. And we started off with nothing. Mitochondrial disease, what was that? Lily was tiny. She was sent home to die after a few weeks, and she fought on until this time of the year. I think it was next week, the anniversary of her death, actually. And what can we do? Bereft. And we got drunk on a beach bar in Spain. And I said to Liz and Dave, should we set up this foundation and fight this dreadful disease and see if there are other people suffering? And it was this dark, lonely place. And we got doctors on board and friends. Peter Bugatti gave us Bugatti's restaurant in Croydon for the first real event. Susie Sager held a garden party, and it's mushroomed from there. And we have events all around the country and all over the place. But we can't at the moment during lockdown. So we need your help to keep the money coming in, to keep the funds going, so that we can fund research, fund the doctors, fund the nurses, to fight a disease for which there is no cure. No cure. If your battery cell in each tiny little cell goes and suffering from mitochondrial disease, then organs can fail and people die and kids are taken. It's not just kids though, and it's linked to other illnesses. And go onto our website, please, www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk, and find out more about us. We want your money tonight through the quiz. So there's a Just Giving link on the right-hand side. It will keep coming up on the YouTube page there on the right. Any amount will make a difference. You can give £1, if you can give £5 or a tenner, then please do. There it is. The links just come up on the right-hand side of your page. Subscribe to the Lily Foundation YouTube channel. You can get notifications of upcoming live events. And I've got to tell you, the next week is Alan Davis. So thanks very much for Josh, for Alex Brooker, Josh Whittaker, Alex Brooker for filling in the last couple of weeks, for doing it last week. Tim Ryan couldn't do it. I know Tim's a massive supporter of the Lily Foundation. They do, him and his mate Terry Alderton do so much for us. Next week is Alan. Thursday, back to Thursday next week, 7:45. That is the anniversary of the Lily's passing. So it is a very important day for us. We're just about to go. It's an old-fashioned pen to paper quiz. It relies on honesty and fun. The answers will be given at the end of each round. Chance to mark at the end of each round. 5 rounds, 8 questions in each round. Upload the scores at the end via the link in the description, which will come up on the right-hand side, or by emailing janet@thelilyfoundation.org.uk. That's crucial. This is actually how we do Match of the Day. And 5-3, why not? There you go. It's not really. I've probably just been sacked. Jason Brown lost his princess to Mito, only 6.5 months old in 2014. Jason, heart goes out to you, really does. Can't give it. The names will come up on the right hand side of the screen. Can't shout out to all of them, but I will do my best. Okay, and they are trying to keep in touch with me via my daughter's phone there. Oh gosh, that's weird. Something's just happened there. I don't know. So I'll just break off and tap in the code to get it back on again, just in case they're trying to contact me. And here we go. I was asked yesterday by someone in the charity, Claire, to do some commentary tonight, but I'm not going to, because commentators don't do commentary at home. You know, they don't. Motti doesn't sit there at his dining room table and go, Annie passed the Marmite, Annie. Oh, Annie's passing the Marmite now. Oh, is Annie passing the Marmite? Oh, no, she's passed the jam instead. Actually, Monty probably does that, though. I don't think Martin Tyler ever sits there at home on his breakfast table and says, oh, I think the Kellogg's cornflakes looked very good this morning. And suddenly Gary Neville pops up from under the table and says, no, you should have Sugar Smacks instead, Martin. It just doesn't happen. You know, I don't go, oh, I'm now getting up out of bed. Oh, I'm now going into the loo. Oh, I'm now sitting on the loo. Yes, there's enough loo paper because I went to the supermarket yesterday and I hoarded it. Anyway, so I'm not going to do any commentary. So here we go. Let's eyes down and do the first round. All right. The first round is general knowledge. Are we all ready? General knowledge, round 1. In which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? That's question 1 of tonight's quiz. In which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? And Steve Clark says Martin Tyler would have had Cheerios. And we're ready. Steve McKenzie has just put on the YouTube thing there. He's been doing it every week. The question, so that if you can't hear me or start buffering or whatever, in which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? You will see those questions come up. Okay, that was question 1. A little minute to think about that one. And I think that's enough. Question number 2. How many sides has a heptadecagon? How many sides has a heptadecagon? I might have a little bit of trouble on that one. I might need a bit of help. How many sides has a heptadecagon? See, it works better with a beer. As I said, this is how we do Match of the Day. Hello, Mr. Thornley, Stephen Thornley, and his trusty sidekick, Karen, the War Ball. Hi, everyone. Jenny Murphy, that's our cousin Jenny, I think. From sunny LA, she says, hi, JP. Glosson Gardens, big love to the Winders. Question 2 in the quiz was how many sides has a heptadecagon? Don't forget, please donate. The link will come up throughout the evening and we'll try and tell you how much we're raising as we go. That is cousin Jenny. She's just said it is indeed. What's the weather like over there, Jenny? And how are you managing with the old locking over there in California? Question number 3. Which was the first James Bond film to feature Roger Moore in the title role? Ruby Head says no Googling. Exactly, Ruby. So question 1 was in which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? Question 2 was how many sides has a heptadecagon? And question 3, which was the first James Bond film to feature Roger Moore in the title role? Big shout out to the Munros from Katie, by the way. There's the link just come up again to do the donation. And Andrew Wilkinson from Bristol has just sent a message saying Concepcion says hi, which refers to a lady who wasn't very pleasant and didn't like our family. And she was an old, look, you shouldn't speak ill of people. I'm not going to speak ill of people. I'm just going to tell you the truth. She was an old hag who performed a bodily function while standing over myself and my wife while we were sunbathing. Not very pleasant, and we didn't like her. And she's not around anymore to say hi. Sarah Povey, hi JP, please wish my tyrant of a boss, Peter McLeod, a happy birthday. He's playing on Christina, thank you. Jenny from California says, all good, not on full lockdown here, hope all is well. Let's move on to question 4. In which century was the first official Grand National horse race? In which century was the first official Grand National horse race? I'll repeat the questions in a little while. We're not breaking at 8 o'clock tonight, don't forget. And the quiz returns next week onto the Thursday with Alan Davis. In which century was the first official Grand National horse race? That's question 4. Picture the invite behind me there. Look. How do you do that with the finger? There. Getting an award. That was during Capital Days. Yeah, great fun on Capital Goal. Unbelievable. Great fun on Robot Wars. Been so lucky in my career, I really have. Okay, question 5. Question 5. Before we do, what's happened there? Shout out to Don, uncle to Mito Angel Jacob, who's a Leeds fan. And a big hello to Jason Brown, who lost his Mito Princess in 2014, aged 6.5 months. I think I've done that one already, but there's no harm in repeating it. As I said before tonight, I've never heard any complaint, any moan from any single mitochondrial parent or sufferer. They are a remarkable group of people. Hello from Team Esther in Edinburgh and London. Helen Cowslips are here again. Big shout out to Fee Pauly, it's her 40th birthday. Okay, let's move on to question 5. What was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? What was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? Big favourite of mine. I got a warning from the BBC actually for saying something about her once. A warning from my social media mentor, who's also competing in this quiz tonight. It wasn't a vicious warning, it was just be careful. What was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? If she was the last woman on earth, I wouldn't. What was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? That's 5. Hello from Lancashire, says Lee Andrew. Shout out to the Routledges. Grimes, Kinandari. That's from Leah Routledge. Logan Foster. Hello, John. Hello, Logan. How you doing? Victoria Watson. Mito sufferer Lucinda is playing with Sister Vic, Auntie Sue, and Cousin Faye in 3 different countries. That's remarkable. How did you do the technology? I took 3 days with lots of help from lots of people to get this right. Benedict Nyes at Wilberley Bellow says, please shout out for the team. We thought this was speed dating from Beckenham. Crystal Palace supporters. Don't sell Susie say Crystal Palace now officially the oldest club ever, apparently. They found out. Jason Brown, hope you do BGT next year. Britain's Got Talent. Got a song I've written for his Princess and the Lily Foundation. Well, let's hope that goes well. Angela Hodder, remembering Emily, who passed away from mito disease, age 16 in September 2014. It's a hard one because we know Angela so well. Michelle Bamber, hi team. Esther, love team Lilo. Ian Phillips, shout out to Hypnodisc, who used to know back in the days, a really big fan from Robot Wars. Question 6. What is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series? What is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series? Silly, isn't it? It's so emotional. What is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series? Hugs to you, Angela, says Michelle Bamber. Stuart Mackey says, special happy birthday to Jam, who's having to spend a birthday with her nutty mum and Ali. Helen Ray, Team Tizzy here, we're late. I'll go over the questions in a minute. So what is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series was question 6. If Claire's watching, I don't understand that a text I've just been given on the number of how much money we've raised. So if they can do that again, I think we could be on, is that £12,288 from all the quizzes? That's fantastic if we are. Okay. Yeah, Andrew Smith says, don't put the answers on the chat. That's quite right. Shout out to Murphy Sykes team from Jamie Sykes. Alex Ord, happy 70th birthday to Ben Gates. Lisa Spiteri, happy birthday. Gavlar. Aidan Pond, a Mito Angel. Go on, Aidan and the family. Hi to Sarah Povey and Team Lily from Team CHS. Don't put the answers up, Leandro, onto the thing here. So people are putting up the answers. That's a bit daft. Shout out to Cliff and Mary Hall celebrating the 70th birthday and 50th wedding anniversary. Question 7. What is 15% of 2,000? What is 15% of 2,000? What is 15% of 2,000? Got a shout out here to Team Esther. Hopefully it'll come up on the screen because I can't see the other thing very well, but I'll try. Meanwhile, we'll do question 8. Question 8. Name the missing family of the Jackson 5. Name the missing family of the Jackson 5. Jackie, Jermaine, Tito, Michael, and who? Oh, Leandro's apologised. Just a slip of the finger. I understand, Lee. Maybe there are 15 pints like I had today. It's difficult to control your digits, isn't it? Good night to Max. Mito Warrior off the bed, says Dale Keegan. Love to Team Aiden Pond. I'm just trying to get this information up before I read those questions again. Hello, Team SS is a Mito Warrior who since lockdown has learnt to walk without a walker. That's brilliant. She's raised over £1,000 today walking around her garden unaided. Well done. That's fantastic. Whatever you can do for the Lily Foundation, and don't forget www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk. If you can run, walk, climb, run marathons, it's coming up anniversary of the London Marathon. Dave, Lily's dad and I have run 5 or 6 together. 5, I think, Mike, he's run 10. And let's go through the questions again. Number 1, in which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? Number 2, how many sides has a heptadecagon? Question 3, which was the first James Bond film to feature Roger Moore in the title role? Question 4, in which century was the first official Grand National horse race? Question 5, what was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? Question 6, what is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series? Question 7, what is 15% of 2,000? And question 8, name the missing member of the Jackson 5. Jackie, Jermaine, Tito, Michael, and who? Big shout out to Timmy Kids tonight, Benedict, Dominic, Sebastian, Jake, Elliot from Italy, Colombia, England. That's Benedict and Isaac Wibberley Bello. Viva the boys, they say. Shout out to Dominic, he'll be 9 on Saturday, says Alessandra Wood. Shout out to Gila K, living his best life, says Care Costello, is it? Matthew Haylett, hi to Kelly and Tom from Matt, Sarah, and Ellie. Alex Ford, happy 70th birthday to Ben Gates. Thank you very much for your support. Donate, please. The link has come up on the right-hand side of your YouTube. Craig Lee, I see watched the Jackson 5 last year in Torrevieja, Spain, of all places. Loutish Brits everywhere. We saw them at a festival in near Glyndebourne a couple of summers ago. The Jackson 5. Mel Brooks, you're loving this quiz so far. JP, hashtag the Jimmy. Shout out to Ali Roddins for a 50th, please. And again, I have to repeat this. I said to people earlier, you might not gather, I'm not doing something unpleasant under the table. I'm scratching horsefly bites. We've got bad horseflies down here, and they're shocking. The size of... Right, here's the answers from round 1. In which children's book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur appear? Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. How many sides has a heptadecagon? 17. Never knew it existed. Which was the first James Bond film to feature Roger Moore in the title role? That was 1973. It was Live and Let Die. And that was a film with the baddies with Mr. Big. There was Dr. Kananga as well. There was Teehee and Baron Sandy, you remember, the one that comes out of the grave. Question 4, in which century was the first official Grand National horse race? In which century was the first official Grand National horse race. It was in the 19th century. The first official race was 1839, although the race had been run 3 years previously, but it wasn't official until 1839. Lottery was the first winner. Name, I believe, was Jem Mason, and the Grumbling Gits would have known that. Hello to Melissa and Marlene Clanfield, Oxfordshire, before we go on to the next one. Liz Doe says, I need anthisan cream for your bites. Thank you very much. Try and get that tomorrow. So, what was Baroness Margaret Thatcher's middle name? It was Hilda. It was Margaret Hilda Thatcher, the grocer's daughter. Hilda. And number 6, I could go on about Margaret Thatcher for ages, but one of my bosses is watching. What is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series? Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Saskia Harrison, get well soon. She had a very bad injury today. That's from Ian Phillips. Paul Agate didn't hear the Bond answer. It was Live and Let Die, 1973. Shout out to the Butcher family enjoying the quiz tonight. Well, Capital Gold boys, Bill, Andy, Burton and Foggy are watching together. So thanks for that. What have we done? Let's go on to question 7. The answer, what is 15% of 2,000? It is 300. 300. That was question 7. And question 8. Name the missing member of the Jackson 5. I gave you Jackie, Jermaine, Tito, Michael, and the one missing is Marlon. Marlon. Jordan Chandler wasn't a member of the group. Neither is Bubbles the monkey. So, what you'll see on the edge of the screen, Steve McKenzie is putting up the answers for you, as well as repeating the questions as we go on. Thanks for your help on this, Steve, over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Shout out, please, to Nikki Jenkins. Happy 60th birthday for Michael Griffin. And we've got a couple of score lines coming in. Dale Keegan's seeing 4 out of 8. The Grumbling Gits got 8 out of 8. They're doing better without me. Laura would like to miss Amber Jones. Both Mito Warriors. A very happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you very much. Rebecca Thorne got 7. 50 got 6. Ethan Gold Ninja got 6. Lisa Federi got 6. Victoria Collins 7. Hello from Auntie Christine, who's watching at home in Dublin with Lisa. Thank you very much. Auntie Christine will be drunk by now. Amanda Norris got 4. I can't read out all the scores because there's too many of them. Thank you very much for putting them up, though. Oh, Jason Brown, they got a mighty 2. A mighty 2. Jabba got 6, doing well again. Miles Hall got 7. Gemma Hayward got 6. Sue Roberts got 7. And the scores are coming in. The Flood Fighters got 6 out of 8. Nick Robinson, can we have a Capital Gold reunion at the Imperial Pub? Love Kate and Nick. We used to have great nights at the Imperial Pub when we were at Capital Gold. The night used to start at around about 2 in the afternoon and finish around about 2 the following afternoon. They were fantastic days, and we used to get in a state. Now, I'm going to do the second round, and then we're going to have a break, all right? Don't forget, please donate. 1, 2, 5 quid, 10 quid, whatever you can give us. Subscribe to the Lee Foundation YouTube channel. This shirt, by the way, I'm wearing, you don't want to see my gut. This is the first shirt that I wore when I ran the first London Marathon for Lily. This is the original shirt. And if anyone wants to come up, we'll do a little auction, shall we, as the night goes on. Lily, you don't know about this. Liz and the rest of them will be kidding me now. If you want to do an auction for this, come up with money, and we'll see if we can get some money for the shirt. I'll sign it and send it out to you. It's very special to me. It's the first London Marathon. It should have been this weekend, shouldn't it? And a lot of you will be doing 2.6 challenges or 26 challenges as well. Hopefully, if you are, you'll donate the money to the Lily Foundation. And the London Marathon, if you can get onto it one day, it's a wonderful event. You see so many unbelievable stories. You hear from people, you'll cry, you'll learn a lot about yourself. And lucky enough to have done it 5 times the London Marathon, and each time I go around, there's a pub on the Isle of Dogs, and I struggle a little bit at that time, so I start have a little. And on I go, a bit of a sugar rush. Tell your friends and family about the Lily Foundation quiz, okay? And encourage your friends to join in too. Don't forget, next Thursday, next quiz. Alan Davis. About the lads, he might be leaving us a minute. He says goodbye. Good luck, Bristol City too. Hope to listen to your legendary commentary on Match Today. Kerry Vella, shout out to beautiful Princess Phoebe Vella, who's 10 years this month fighting mitochondrial disease. The amount of courage and resolve and passion is unbelievable. Susie Sager says, have I washed the shirt? I can honestly admit to you, no. So it's original. Bristol City. These are things, this is a spare bedroom at home, but I use this as an office and surround myself with the greatest things in life. First programme from the Bristol City match I ever went to. There you are. I wonder if the oldies amongst you can remember this inside each programme. The Football League review. I can remember the smell of it, even 1968, September the 14th, 0-0 it was. I digress. Question 2 is sport. Section 2 is sports. Here we go. Jamie Sykes, I'll bid if I get it unwashed. Yeah, right. I know your sort, Jamie. Question 1. Wigan Athletic share their nickname, the Latics, with which other Football League club? Wigan Athletic share their nickname, the Latics, with which other Football League club? Question 1, while you're thinking about it, Susie Sager's now said yuck because I haven't washed the shirt. The conditions I've seen Susie Sager in over the years have been fairly disgusting, I have to say. Aidan Ganley just says JP, not too sure about that. Dale Keegan says wow. Jason Brown says he's going to be wearing a t-shirt on Britain's Got Talent next year. This one perhaps. Okay, shout out to Team Derbs in London. There's another message I've got to give you. Question 1 in the sports section was Wigan Athletics share their nickname, the Latics, with which other Football League club? 6 seconds on that. If you want to shout out, don't forget, tap something in on the website thing there. And on we go. I think you've had enough time to answer that one. Question 2 of the sport round. In 1999, the National Hockey League retired the number 99 shirt league-wide. That was retired league-wide after the retirement of a man widely considered to be the greatest ice hockey player of all time. What is his name? In 1999, the National Hockey League retired the number 99 shirt across the league after the retirement of the man widely considered to be the greatest ice hockey player of all time. What was his name? Aidan, by the way, we've been telling you about, is from the Horse and Groom pub in Belgravia. Aidan gives up his pub at the end of the London Marathon. All our runners go back to. It's a fantastic pub. It's down a little mews, like a little cul-de-sac in London. It's brilliant. It's not far from the finish line, and we have a right old knees up there. And thank you ever so much for his help. Dale Keegan, shout out to Eva Keegan, allowed to stay up late for this fantastic quiz. We've done question 2. It's repeated there on the screen from Steve McKenzie. Ellie JS, please shout out to the HDC girls. Andy Burton wants the ice hockey question once again. That's because Andy Burton is a little bit slow on the uptake. I can say that he's a friend. Obviously, he was a friend now. The ice hockey, 1999, the National Hockey League retired the number 99 league-wide after the retirement of the man widely considered to be the greatest ice hockey player of all time. What was his name? And he does great work now down at Bournemouth, I think, if he's still there. So let me know whether he is. I get another message I've got to get out to you. I need to know how much you owe. £12,288 you've raised so far from the quizzes. That's good, isn't it? You need more, though, because while we're in lockdown, we still need to find funds for the research, for the nurses and the doctors who are fighting mitochondrial disease. Great work throughout the country. We're linked to hospitals throughout the country. I'll never forget going to guys and Thomas's in London and the the nurse saying that there was no hope for Lily, and I couldn't take it in. Lily was my niece, if you just joined us. Liz and Dave and my brother and sister-in-law. And Katie and Rosie lost a beautiful sister, and I know they'll be doing the quiz as well. Okay, question 3 on the sports round. Who scored England's only try? Who scored England's only try in the 19-7 defeat of New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Who scored England's only try in their 19-7 defeat of New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Stephen Thornley says, any Forest fans in the house? Manador says, Team Harry says, hi to Jan and Gordon in France. Robert de Jong, shout out to Jimmy and Mark Curtis in Colton. Robert de Jong, cousin Robert, through marriage, he's Australian Dutch. Bit confusing. Holland very successful, and we love them to be successful because we admire their total football. And Australia, we don't like to be successful. Michelle Bauer, big shout out to Lily and Willow. Like so many other Mighty Warriors that celebrate 6 weeks shielding, we're so lucky to still have our lovely garden funded through Lily's Helping Hand. We support the families in so many different ways. Josie Harmon, shout out to the Grimwoods and Spencers in Helsham, and us in Haywards Heath, Mighty Warrior Chris, big heart. Question number 4 in the sports round. What music did Torvill and Dean skate to at the 1984 Sarajevo Olympics? What music did Torvill and Dean skate to at the 1984 Sarajevo Olympics? And the person who helped dramatize that performance is very interesting. You won't get a, if you can answer that, that'd be fantastic. You won't get a point for it. It's a very interesting connection. I know about things like this because I'm very boring. So question 4, what music did Torvill and Dean skate to at the 1984 Sarajevo Olympics? Big shout out to Den and Babs and the Northwich Victoria lads. And big shout out to the oldies team from Joe Debris, the young'uns teams in Cookfield. My throat's getting a bit dry. Other beers are available. On we go. Question 5. Who was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon? Who was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon? When we're doing Match of the Day, we often get questions about the pronunciation of players. Why did some people vary? Have we got it right? It's time to speak to the players. But some pronunciations you can't do because it would sound wrong. It would just sound daft to the British audience. So, for example, about halfway through Borg's success, it became known that his name was actually Bjorn Borg. But who would pronounce that? Bjorn Borg. So I think it would have sounded daft, so we just stick with Bjorn Borg. Who was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon? Tim Savage says, shout out for Uncle Albert for bringing the Von Ireland Circus boys to the quiz. Again, Steve McKenzie's repeating all these questions on the right of your screen. Question 5 was, who was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon? Shout out for the Marlins from Tilly Ward. Question 6 in the sports round. Which is the only country in the world where rugby league is the national sport? Which is the only country in the world where rugby league is the national sport? I once did a rugby league World Club Championship up at Huddersfield for Radio 5 when I was presenting that programme. And this fella, it was Manly against Bradford Bulls. And this fella sat in the stand. He never watched the game. He just stared at me all night long. He just stared at me. And when the game finished, we carried on broadcasting for about 20 more minutes. So he sat there. Everyone else was gone. He just sat there right next to me, right there next to me, just staring at me. We finished broadcasting. And he just turned to me and he said, Pearce, why don't you just home to the south? You can fill in the blank. You're rugby union man, you're football man. This is rugby league territory, just down to the south. And I just have to say to him, I can't wait. Thank you very much. I'm leaving now. Probably the best way to deal with it. Okay, on we go. Someone's putting up fairly unpleasant stuff on the web. Not too sure whether that's really appropriate for a fundraising charity, but on we go. Question 7. In cricket, the 2018 Australian ball tampering scandal resulted in the suspensions of 3 players: Stephen Smith, Cameron Bancroft, and who? In cricket, the 2018 Australian ball tampering scandal resulted in the suspensions of 3 players: Stephen Smith, Cameron Bancroft, and who? Just trying to sort out that question. There's a problem with the live chat because someone has been fairly unpleasant about it. Steve McKenzie's just put up question 7 again. Susie Sager wants question 3 repeated. Who scored England's only try in the 1907 defeat of New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 Rugby World Cup? And we've got one more question left in this round. Don't forget, please donate. The link will come up in just a couple of seconds' time. Please add to that 12,000 that we've already raised through the 2 quizzes we've had so far. And with Josh Whittaker and Alex Booker, they've been fantastic for us. Visit the charity www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk. Next Thursday, Alan Davis is hosting the quiz on the anniversary of Lily's party. A very important day for us. And question 8. Last question in Sports Chat. In a career spanning from 1993 to 2011, which Brazilian driver holds the record for the most starts in a Formula One race? With 322. 322 starts in Formula One, the most ever. Career spanning from 1993 to 2011, Brazilian. Who was it? Those are your 8 questions. Anna Holmes says, thanks, JP. Probably in response to that idiot who was texting some horrible stuff. I'm going to show you. Greatest football team ever. They're international game. These things are in the office behind me. I just pick them up and cuddle them from now and again to keep me going. Tara Rutt says, hi to all the Lily ladies. Is that our Tara from the Lily Foundation? Let's see if we've got any more here. Ian Phillips says, can I have a shout out to Ben Peasant, who was meant to be getting married next month? Oh no. Shutdown, I guess, lockdown. His wedding was themed on damage, style, control, and aggression. That was what the judges had to decide on Robot Wars. You remember all those years ago. Robot Wars was intended to stop the audience decline after The Simpsons, and within a couple of weeks, it was getting about 3 or 4 times the number of viewers The Simpsons had. I think we did 12 series all in all, something like that, and it was fantastic. We had great fun over the years doing that. Benedict and Isaac Webberley Bellow says, Susie Sager, they will win. Here are the questions again from the sports round. Number 1, Wigan Athletics share their nickname the Latics with which other Football League club? Question 2, in 1999, the National Hockey League retired the number 99 league-wide after the retirement of the man widely considered to be the greatest ice hockey player of all time. Who was it? Question 3, who scored England's only try in the 1907 defeat of New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Watched it. Great, wasn't it? Unbelievable. Fantastic. Question 4, what music did Torval and Dean skate to at the 1984 Sarajevo Olympics? Question 5, who was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon? Question 6, which is the only country in the world where rugby league is the national sport? Question 7, in cricket, the 2018 Australian ball tampering scandal resulted in the suspension of 3 players: Stephen Smith, Cameron Bancroft, and who? And question 8, in a career spanning from 93 to 2011, which Brazilian driver holds the record for most starts in a Formula One race with 322? Give you a couple of minutes, okay, and then I'll give you the answers. Big shout out to Mito warrior Susanna Folds. Anna Holmes says, was I the combo Robot Wars? We used to love that. Yes, I was. Well, I was a commentator. I used to go up there and film a couple of things. A couple of links every year, really good fun. Bonus Scott says a big hello from Rona, Mito Warrior, and husband Graham from Paisley, big St Mirren fan. Went to St Mirren all the way from Bristol on the first team coach to play in the Anglo-Scottish Cup final. They won Bristol won it the first 1 year, and then the next year I think St Mirren beat us in the final over 2 legs. And a wonderful player called Tony Fitzpatrick came from St Mirren down to Bristol City. He was a lovely, lovely little lad. And but he had to replace a folk hero called Jerry Gow. And he didn't have the best of times, little Tony, but he was a wonderful, wonderful player and a really, really nice fellow. I wonder what he's doing now. Luke Stevens, big up to Arthur in Woodford. Tara, Sarah. Sarah Privy says, hi, Tara, how's the head? Tara says, Sarah, lovely, redid it today. Best thing ever. Too sure what that means, but anyway, there you go. We've raised 12,433 so far. Is that tonight? That's fantastic if we are for tonight. Someone will let me know. Here are your answers for the sports question. Number 1, Wigan Athletic share their name, the Latics, with which other football league club? Oldham Athletic. In 1999, the National Hockey League retired the number 99 league-wide after the retirement of the man widely considered the greatest ice hockey player of all time. It was Wayne Gretzky. I think my son came up with that question, actually, Sam. It was nice for him to get up for 30 seconds to come up with that question. Who scored England's only try in their 1907 defeat of New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Manu Tuilagi. Manu Tuilagi is the answer. To be fair, Sam, he used to do his university work in his room. Best place for it. So that was Manu Tuilagi. Question 4, which music did Torval and Dean skate to at the 1984 Sarajevo Olympics? Ravel's Bolero. Ravel's Bolero, if you remember it, very dramatic. The man who helped dramatize that whole performance in their career at that time was none other than the actor Michael Crawford. He helped them out. He was the first man to beat Bjorn Borg at Wimbledon. Roger Taylor, 5 sets, 1973 quarterfinal. I think it was Borg's first Wimbledon. Which is the only country in the world where rugby league is a national sport? Papua New Guinea is the answer to that one. Papua New Guinea, the national sport is rugby league. In cricket, the 2018 Australian ball tampering scandal resulted in the suspension of 3 players: Stephen Smith, Cameron Bancroft, and who? It was David Warner, because they'd broken the laws, a little bit like Ned Kelly and so many of their ancestors. Great shame when the Aussies have to grovel a bit, I feel. To all Australians out there, I don't apologise. In a career spanning from 1993 to 2011, which Brazilian driver holds the record for most starts in a Formula 1 race? 322. He started 322 from the 326 races he entered. It's Rubens Barrichello. Rubens Barrichello. That's 2 rounds down. Post your scores in a couple of seconds and keep us going. And that's the number in total, by the way. That total we've raised. So I don't know how to go back on the mobile phone to get it. So someone will text up again on me in a minute. I really am technically inept. Ruth Wilgress, 2 out of 8. Jab of the Gut, 2. PS, 3 out of 8. That was a tough round then. That was a tough round. Next round is movie quotes, by the way. Movie quotes. I know a lot of you enjoyed that. Poker Pals, 3 out of 8. Lisa Spiteri, 5 out of 8. Food Fighters, 3 out of 8. Peter Hastings, no score. HAP, hope you're drinking local Sussex beer. We're blessed. Good job tonight. That's Peter from Hayward's Heath. We do have a lovely beer in Sussex. That's true. I'm not opposed to a barrel of Harvey's myself. Charlie Whitfield got 4. The great Charlie Whitfield from Northern Ireland. Gemma Hayward, 5 out of 8. Rebecca Thorne, I've missed her score, went too quickly on my screen. Helen Ray, 6 out of 8. The Grumbling Git, 6 out of 8, and 14 out of 16 so far. Scott Walker, 4 out of 8. South Coast Suffragettes, 5 out of 8. Only 4 out of 8 for the Ian Cowslip. Ruby Head, 4 out of 8. We are Andrew and Cheryl, the Poms and Aussie team. Today is our 2nd anniversary. Was that an apology to all Aussies? Of course. John Glynn, OQD, 6. Andrew Smith, 3 out of 8. Verity Brooks, 2 out of 8. Josie Harmon, 6 out of 8. Leslie Cowie, 3 out of 8. Nicky Jenkins and the team PDV, 11 out of 16 so far. Well done, Craig Liazzi, 5 out of 8 in that round. And the total we have raised so far, 12,442 in the quizzes. Thank you very much for your donations. Please, tonight, our target is 13,000 overall. Please help out. It's the taking part, not about the winning, says Ruth Wilgers. It's absolutely right. But, Ruth, we want your cash. And the link to give is just come up. Aidan Ganley, 2 out of 8. Aidan in the pub there. He likes a beard as Aidan. Peter Hastings also playing along in Haywards Heath there. And he mentioned the beard. Susie Sagers just says yay. It's gone 8:30, so that's the state Susie will be in, really, probably. Happy birthday to Sebastian from Italy. Martin Smith, big hello to Team Blue Jays. Must be the only Tranmere fan in Swindon. Shame we'll see them go past us on our way down this season. Have you worked out that roundabout system in Swindon, Magic Roundabout? I went to a game at Swindon from Bristol City and knocked off school and got met on the railway platform by a group of Swindon fans, and we got a right old kicking, to be honest. And I couldn't tell my dad what had happened because I'd knocked off school. And so I had to make up an excuse for I was covered in bruises. There you go. Could have been worse. Back in the day, football's not like that anymore. Thank God. Hello to lovely Steve Hammy and Torquay, doing so many things for the 2.6 challenge for Lily in memory of Jacob, who sadly was lost to mito 8 years ago on Monday. So our thoughts are very much with you. Rapinda Baines, one of the directors for the Lee Foundation. Hi, Lily team, just logged on. Observer for tonight. Great total so far. Fab. And big shout out to Mito Warrior, Harry Yule, and from Spencer Austin 1. Thank goodness we're homeschooling. Clearly needs it in this house. If that round was any indication of the general knowledge level. And Team Maxim Swindon says big shout out for, that's from Dale Keegan for him. Ali Clark, 10 out of 16 so far. Look, we're going to take a break, all right? We've got 3 rounds to do, 3 rounds tonight to do. I'm going to do 5 minutes. If you need a wee break or a drink break, we'll do 5 minutes. We'll start again at 20:37. Is that okay? 20:37, we'll have 5 minutes. Off you go. I'll stay here and just read out some of your messages because my dam hasn't broken yet. And Martin Smith, best chance we ever gave the Swindon fans were you're just a town in Oxford. They weren't pleased. With Binder Baines, hey Robbie, great to see you on here. I'm not too sure that, well, that's a Robbie who said hi, Rapinda. And Rapinda, he's got great vocab. And to Isaac, again, clap for everyone taking part and donating today. Don't forget, please tune in next Thursday, 30th of April, 7:45. It's the anniversary of Lily's passing. It's a very special day for the family. We had a wonderful Easter, last Easter. The weather was fantastic. Everyone came down to our house here and the sun shone and it was wonderful, really. And she smiled and her eyes twinkled and then she was gone, you know. And we've been fighting ever since with your help and the help of all the Mito families. Cara Horton says hi to Lewis and Shay, both on 12 at the better comments. Emma Wilson, please shout out Cara, Emma, Simon and their family. Robbie sends a number to Rapinda, says he's fallen in love with the Lily Foundation. Rapinda, just in case you're a bit frightened. Jason Brown, who was the best, Ronaldo or Messi? I think Messi, but sad to say, because of what he became, what he's become in life, I think Maradona was probably better than both of them, and none of them were a patch on Pele. I didn't see Pele play live. I saw Maradona play live. George Best, wonderful player. Oh, Aidan, did you miss the 50 quid I put up for your signed shirt? No, I did miss that. I did miss that. So we've got 50 quid for this shirt as well. Well done, Aidan. Sarah says, Robbie, did you do well on the sports questions? Hi to the Eifert family and Wilson's Eifert family. And Wilson says, Paul Earhart. Team James here supporting the cause. Big up, big up for me. Well done. Thank you very much from Team James there. Yay, thanks for the shout out. Dale Keegan wants to know what my favourite goal is. My favourite goal ever. You won't know it. It was Clive Whitehead scoring for Bristol City against Portsmouth. 1976 was a goal that sent them into the top flight. It was wonderful. And the pitch was just surrounded at the end, and they all come on. Everyone came on, and I was very much part of the club in those days, and we all got absolutely stocious that night. And I remember there was a player called Donny Gillies who scored the winning goal for Bristol City up at Leeds United in the FA Cup. On a midweek day when the miners' strike was on, and I remember Donny and I drinking beer, champagne it was actually. A policeman came, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was underage, and he took his policeman helmet off, and we filled it with champagne. I remember drinking that on the steps just outside the director's room. And he reminded me of it years and years later. They're brilliant boys, the Bristol City boys, and I never got anywhere near the first team. And I worked with my dad filming the games for video for training purposes, under a wonderful manager called Alan Dix, who got me into football broadcasting really with Radio Bristol. I owe Alan so much. I really do, and they were great days. And those boys treated me like a little brother, all the first teamers, and I'll never forget them for that. Okay, Dean Shepherd says, I'm missing sports as much as I am. I am. Johnny Palmer said, who's the best club in South London? I think if he's asking who's the best club in Thornton Heath, stroke Croydon, I'll answer that as Crystal Palace. And as I said today, I think they found out they're the oldest club ever. They found history linking them to the first Crystal Palace that were founded members of the Football Association, which means they're an older football club called Sheffield FC. Ollie 9487, shout out to all the scientists in Newcastle itching to get back to work and find a cure for mitochondrial disease. Those scientists and nurses and doctors at Newcastle have been brilliant for us on the Lilly Foundation. Can't say thanks enough to them. Mrs. Fish says, shout out to Chaz and Mo, playing from their kitchen in Stonehaven in Scotland. Wow, that's north, isn't it? Is that Aberdeen way? Stonehaven? That's way up, isn't it? Phil and John, shout out to Borley, who introduced us to Lily and got me to do a zip line, Tough Mudder, and London to Brighton. Well done, you. Do London to Brighton, do the cycle, do the running, climb Kilimanjaro. These people have done this for us, or just 26.2 challenge coming up at the weekend. Do something for us, whatever you can. Then lick 26.2 Green Shield stamps. Goodness me, that shows my age. Green Shield stamps. People are going, what is he on about? Google it. They don't do them anymore, do they? Lucy Speed here again, our patron, a wonderful Lucy. She's got the bill mug and T-shirt given to the cast when the show ended. She was in the bill. She's going to donate it to the Lily T-shirt auction off. That's this T-shirt here that I ran for the first marathon. So you get this, and you've got the bill mug and T-shirt given to the cast. Only the cast members will see these. So while we're going on and you're donating, you can also auction for those. And I'm just hearing that Liz has just put 2 fingers up to me because I shouldn't have done that. Okay, there you are. Come on, Crystal Palace, says Ruth Wilgris. Love the Geordie Mito team, says Helen Ray. They supported us, Team Tissy, so much on our journey. And for the journey, for all our Mito battlers, our Mito warriors, keep on that journey. Every small step leads to a giant stride, leads to a mile taken. Okay, 20th birthday thoughts for Catherine Horn tomorrow. Have we had our 5 minutes? Another Mito Angel. I think we've had our 5 minutes, have we? So we can go on to round 3, which is movie quotes. Name the movie. Are we ready to go? Can someone tell me? Whoopsie. Let me just check on this again. See if we can go. Whoopsie. I'll just check whether we can go. I'm getting a sign up. Keep going. So go. Right. Let's go. Speed it up, says Liz. Round 3. Movie quotes. Name the movie. You can guess the year as well. If you want, that's just for fun. But name the movie for the point. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. That's my best impersonation of that actor. You can't handle the truth. Who else can we shout out to? Oh, someone says, oh, Lucy Pond says, Ruth Wilkes, shame on you. It's Millwall, the best team in South London. You can't handle the truth. What film did that come from? Got to speed it up, I'm told. Question 2. You talking to me? You talking to me? That's my best impersonation of that actor. You talking to me? You must be talking to me. Okay. You talking to me? And you can guess the year the movie was made for fun. First one was You Can't Handle the Truth. The second one was You Talking to Me. And question 3. I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having. And as my friend says, she's loving the accents. I don't think many of you will be. Someone said, what's the auction on at the moment? Luke's watching for this t-shirt that I wore running a marathon, and from Lucy Speed, it's a shirt from the end of the bill, and the a mug as well. She was in the bill. A wonderful actress. It was Lucy Speed. Okay, question 3 was, I'll have what she's having. And question 4, that's not flying, that's just falling with style. That's not flying, that's just falling with style. Again, Steve McKenzie putting up the questions on the right of your YouTube screen. Shout out to the North Walton crew, says Kitty Banks, a wonderful Kitty Banks. Everyone supporting Mighty Warrior, the great Arthur Banks with Arthur's Angels. You know what I think of you, the Banks family. Hi, Lily Girl, says Kitty. So question 4 was, that's not flying, that's just falling with style. And question 5, I'll do all these questions again in a minute. Why so serious? Why so serious? Why so serious? Luke's watching has gone 60 quid for the auction. Well done you, Luke. You have to contact Lily Foundation afterwards with your details if you get it. Question 5 was, why so serious? Question 6, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. Good accent. Question 6, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. Someone is putting up answers on the YouTube, which isn't helpful to anyone. So don't do it. Question 7, it's alive, it's alive. It's alive, it's alive. And question 8, you're going to need a bigger boat. You're going to need a bigger boat. Susie Sagar says these are hard. It's now 8:45. So Susie would find most things hard at this time of most evenings. Except opening that 4th bottle. So here are the questions again of the movie round. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth was question 1. Question 2, you talking to me? You talking to me? Question 3, I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having. Question 4. That's not flying. That's just falling with style. Question 5. Why so serious? Why so serious? Question 6. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Have a guess for the year for the films. It might surprise you, actually. Question 7. It's alive. It's alive. And question 8. You're going to need a bigger boat. You're going to need a bigger boat. Susie has warned me now. Oi. Oi. You see Susie at her best, actually, at the Lily Foundation at Bugatti's Italian night in Croydon. It's normally in November of each year. It sells out pretty quickly. It's a fantastic evening. It's an Italian restaurant. Peter Bugatti, brilliant supporter, great friend. He's worked on down there in Bugatti's in South Croydon. And it's a wonderful evening. It gets quite raucous. That's another one of our events. And we're doing the quizzes because we've lost so many events. So please, donate. £5 the price of a pint and packet of Christmas we've been saying each week. And someone who's put that, who obviously hasn't bought a pint for a long time. But we've got another quiz next week. It's Thursday. Alan Davis, 30th of April. That's the Thursday, back to Thursday at 7:45. Okay. Any Saints fans out there? Says Kitty Banks, who wonderful mito warrior and her family. Lots of support and love going out to the Bugattis, which is great. Okay, here we go. Have you had enough time to do the answers? Have you had enough time to do the answers? We've got to move it along. So, question 1 in the movie quotes round: you can't handle the truth. It was A Few Good Men in 1992. Jack Nicholson, then Colonel Nathan Jessup, commander of Guantanamo Bay. So that was A Few Good Men, and the year was 1992. You talking to me? You talking to me? Was Robert De Niro, then Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver in 1976. Taxi Driver was the answer to number 2. Question 3. I'll have what she's having. Was Billy Crystal, When Harry Met Sally, which was 1989. Wow. When Harry Met Sally, 1989. Question number 4. That's not flying, that's just falling with style. It was, I think, the voice of Tom Hanks in Toy Story 1995. Toy Story 1995. Sad when that sequence ended, wasn't it? This year, a little week, I'd say. So that was Toy Story in 1995. Number 5. Why So Serious? Was The Dark Knight in 2008. I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. Was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was 1988. Wow. Was that 32 years ago? Can't believe that. Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's Alive was question 7. Frankenstein, 1931. And the actor's name, I thought it was something like Boris Karloff. It was Colin Klein was the actor. Frankenstein, 1931. And you're going to need a bigger boat. Number 8 was Jaws in 1975. Jaws in 1975. And I think it was the actor Roy Scheider, I think it was, who gave that line. You're going to need a bigger boat. Was it him? But anyway, it was Jaws, 1975. Okay, Team PDV smashed that round, says Nikki Jenkins. We're going to move quickly on to the next round, so don't go anywhere. We're going to quickly move on. Dom got 8, Daniel McCann, 7 out of 8, Bosch. Ruth, 2 out of 8, Ruth Wilkes. Dale Keegan, 7 out of 8, unbelievable. Pearce got 4 out of 8. Stephanie Dawkins, please say hello to the Newells, Dawkins, Humphreys, Jardines, and holidays all across the country. Gemma Hayward got 7, well done. Gemma Guts got 5. Lisa Spiteri, 8 out of 8, 3 stars. Barry Comerford, 8 out of 8. I saw 7 out of 8 again. They're doing well. 8 out of 8 for Spencer and their team. Victoria Collins, 7 out of 8. Poker Pals, 8 out of 8. Grumbling gets 6 out of 8. Can't do without me, you see that thing. Claire Wright, 8 out of 8 for Team Jackoom, makes up for the 1 in the sports round. Susie got 7 out of 8. Elizabeth Wallace, 6 out of 8, and so on and so on. Kitty Banks, 8 out of 8. Well done, Kitty and the Banks team. Nick Robinson, 8 out of 8. Can see what he's been doing on furlough. Barry Comerford's team, 17 out of 24 now. Mark Osborne, 5 out of 8. He says that round was tricky. But the Poker Pals, we think so. They got all 8 right scores coming in. But I'm going to move on to the next round. This is the penultimate round of this week's Lily Foundation quiz. As a reminder to you, Liam Swattery, 60 quid for the auction for this T-shirt for Lucy Speeds, the Bill T-shirt and the Bill mug. The T-shirt was given to the Bill cast when they finished. The cast members got them, and Lucy typically generous. Lucy often comes to, we do a great lunch at Gavroche each year, which Gavroche put up for us in London, which is auctioned at the Ball, and Lucy comes with us, and then we go on to the pub afterwards. It's a great day. Please, the Ball, the comedy night, Bugattis, the fight night, the flight night, all these events, we're missing so many of them due to the lockdown. But if you can go to them in the future, comedy night, it's ridiculous value, and some of the great names in comedy have gone to it. I remember one year Russell Howard had to drop out, and we got a great replacement for him late on, and I've forgotten that story actually, so I can't tell you, but I'll see if I can remember it later on what it was. Susie's now bid 100 quid for that auction item. But keep your pledges coming in. Keep your donations coming in. And we're going to put up that link again. Please, someone from the Lily Foundation, put up the link for donations. Mark Gage, Team Ivy, only 2 in that round. Andrew Smith, Sport is our kryptonite. And they've got 18 out of 24. And we're going to move on now to the penultimate round. There's the link just come up there. Then HTTPS, you know about, :// just.ly/Lily5. Kitty Banks has raised 120 Kitty for the auction. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the penultimate round, shall we? How well do you know JP? That's me. How well do you know JP? Here are 8 questions. So you can't Google some of these. This is why we put it in. Number 1, I used to practice my commentary as a boy when playing which game? I used to practice my commentary as a boy when playing which game? I used to practice my commentary as a boy when playing which game? Oh, the Russell Howard story. He couldn't do it. And there's only 2 or 3 people knew that he couldn't do it. Liz was one, I was another one, and the compere that night. And I think it was Kevin Day, the compere. He came on at half time. He said, I know a lot of people here have come to see Russell Howard, and he can't make it. And the whole crowd groaned. We've got a comedian who'll come on and start the second half. And as ever on a Monday on the Comedy Club, please give it up to a young and upcoming comedian who really needs your love because he's only a novice and he's only starting out. But please give up your love and support, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack D. Jack D came on and the place went absolutely mental. That's the comedy night in February. Great night to go to. Question 2 about JP. How well do you know JP? Me. My first commentary was on BBC Radio Bristol, August the 12th, 1980. I'm very old. What was the game? Was it A, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers, B, Bristol City versus Exeter City, or C, Bristol Rovers v Exeter City? What was the first game I ever commentated on BBC Radio Bristol, August the 12th, 1980? Was it A, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers, B, Bristol City versus Exeter City, or C, Bristol Rovers versus Exeter City? My cousin Bruce says he knows the answer to that. We'll wait and see. Charlie Whitfield says, spoiler alert, lager. Does that mean he thinks I practiced my commentary as a boy while I was drinking lager? That was very funny. Theme of this round, Ian, is how well do you know myself? So we've had two questions. And they're repeated by Steve's putting them up there. Look on the script. Sarah Povey wants to shout out to her colleague Paul Sidebottom in his Thomas Shelby cap, who's doing suspiciously well. Question number 3. Who was my co-commentator for the 1990 World Cup semi-final? Who was my co-commentator for the 1990 World Cup semi-final? If you just sort of joined us and you don't know why I'm doing the quiz tonight, it's because I'm Lily's uncle. And my niece was taken far, far too young. And you should never really have to see any relation of yours or anyone carrying a small coffin into a funeral, let alone your beautiful sister-in-law and your wonderful brother-in-law. So we've been fighting it ever since. Kitty Banks has been fighting mitochondrial. Some gorgeous teams on here. Love hearts to Ray, Vella, and Lilla. So question 3, who was my co-commentator in the 1990 World Cup semi-final? At the 2014, this is question 4, at the 2014 World Cup finals, in the commentary of a game between a South American country and a Middle Eastern country, I said, give it to blank and pray. Who was the blank? It was a game between a South American country and a Middle Eastern country, and I said, give it to and pray. Who was the blank? Question 5. Moving on quickly now. I was lucky enough to commentate on all 177 episodes of Robot Wars. Who was the male presenter of the very first series? Who was the male presenter of the very first series of Robot Wars? Happy birthday, Amber. There's a shout out. Shout out Team Jacob again. It might be Jackham. On we go. Give you a great deal of time here because Liz says I've got to get on with it. Question 6. I was honoured to be asked to act on a radio drama episode of a famous sci-fi series playing a sports commentator called Garni Diblick. The episode was called The Game. Who was the sci-fi hero of the show? That was a radio drama episode, famous sci-fi series. I played a sports commentator called Garni Diblick, but who was the sci-fi hero of the show? Quite easy, that one. So I'm going to move on to number 7. I also worked as a commentator on 2 BBC series of a game show presented by first Dale Winton, and then the second series was presented by Anton de Beek. It didn't get a third series, not surprised. But what was the show called? What was the game show called? Commentated on 2 BBC series of a game show presented by Dale Winton and then Anton de Beek. What was that series? And the last one, back to football for the last question. Who was my co-commentator at the Women's World Cup finals of 2015 and 2019? Who was my co-commentator at the Women's World Cup finals of 2015 and 2019? So I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes. I'll read through the questions again. trying to get through to Lily a minute. Big hello to Darren Purchase and Massimo Dilla Bartolo from Team Tizzy. Tizzy lost a battle a couple of years ago. Thoughts go out to them. Repeating those questions then from this penultimate round. I used to practice my commentary as a boy when playing on what game? That was one. Number two, my first commentary was on BBC Radio Bristol. What was it? A, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers. B, Bristol City versus Exeter. Or C, Bristol Rovers versus Exeter. Question number three, who was my co-commentator for the 1990 World Cup semi-final? I can't believe that's all those years ago. Question four, at the 2014 World Cup finals in the commentary game between a South American country and a Middle Eastern country, I said, give it to blank and pray. Who was the blank? Question number five was, who was the male presenter of the very first series of Robot Wars? Who was the male presenter of the very first series of Robot Wars? Question six, I was a character in a radio drama of a very famous sci-fi series playing a sports commentator called Garni Diblick. Who was the sci-fi hero of the show? Who was the sci-fi hero of the show? I also worked on two BBC series of a game show presented by Dale Winton and Anton Dubik. What was the show called? And number eight, who was my co-commentator at the Women's World Cup finals of 2015 and 2019? A couple of bids coming in for those shirts and Lucy's mug. Team Lillo's did 100 quid. I think we've already got 120 in there. Can we reach 13 grand? We've got £230 to go with your donations. £230 to go tonight with your donations to reach for the three quizzes £13,000. Please. Here's the answers then to the penultimate round. Question one. I used to practice my commentary as a boy when playing what game? It was Subbuteo, flicked a kick. My first commentary was Bristol Rovers against Exeter City. It was in the League Cup first round. It went to penalties. First time I ever went out the radio station, and we were allowed to commentate on extra time or penalties. I was just there as an observer, and the sports editor threw me the microphone at 90 minutes and just said commentate. David Solomon's his name was. I'll never forget it, and I owe so much to him. Bristol Rovers won 7-6 on penalties. Who was my co-commentator for the 1990 World Cup semi-final? It was the great Bobby Moore. A great friend. And that 2014 World Cup finals commentary, give it to and pray. Give it to Lionel Messi and pray. 91 minutes, Argentina 0, Iran 0, free kick. Give it to Messi and pray. He scored from it. Argentina won 1-0 and went to the final. Who was the first male presenter of Robot Wars? A lot of you might have put Craig Charles. It was in fact Jeremy Clarkson. It was Jeremy Clarkson. Craig took over from him after that. We used to go and do a few links together. It used to be filmed. They used to have to get us to film in the morning because after lunch we weren't much good. Who was a sci-fi hero of the radio episode The Game of a series called Doctor Who? It was Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Sherry Mack wants question two. Was it A, B, or C? It was B, Cheryl. It was B. I beg your pardon. It was C. C. Bristol Rovers against Exeter. It was C. It was C. So Doctor Who was question 6. Question 7, the Dale Winton Anton Dubek series was called Hole in the Wall. If you missed it, don't worry. And who was my co-commentator? The Women's World Cup finals of 2015 and 2019. It was the wonderful Sue Smith. Okay, that's that round. We've got one round to go. A little bit later tonight is the extra round. Hope you're still with us. Hope you're sticking with us. Daniel McCann says, bring on the wall. That's exactly what we used to say. I'm not supposed to knock a series I was on, but I didn't like it. Very difficult round. That's why we threw it in. Andrew Smith says, Doctor Who, the game, available from Big Finish. Jabba the Gut 5. Gosh, that's good. Aidan, big shout out for Liz and Dave and all the Lily family. Lucy Pond 2. This was a really tough round. Victoria Collins 3. Grumbling gets 6. They did well. They should know me. Gemma 6. That's fantastic. Dean Shepherd 6. Dale Keegan 5. Jabba the Gut used to love Bring on the Wall. PS 1 out of 8. Emma Waller 3 out of 8. Scores coming in. Lots of you got 6s there. Really well done. I thought that was difficult. Kitty Banks 25 out of 32. We've got 1 round to go. 1 round to go. The Grumbling Gits are 26 out of 32. Oh, Jess Dibble got 1 out of 8. She'll be cursing me. Team Blue Jays 2 out of 8. Alison Smith says blame her Tranmere fan husband. Susie Sagot says thought she knew me better. She got 4 out of 8. Charlie Whitfield round. Did you get 8? For representing Northern Ireland, of course. This big Charlie, long-time friend of ours and friend of the charity. Jonathan Haggart, 7 out of 8. 7 out of 8. They're not stalkers, they say. They're from Glossop, home of the smallest ever First Division club, Glossop. Let's go on. Let's go on to the last round because it's getting late, and a lot of you will be staying up late. You're sleeping late, can't you, these days? Dale Keegan, 22 out of 32, says the best quiz. Yes, thank you very much, Dale. But let me repeat, I thought Josh Whittaker and Alex Booker did a fantastic job over the last 2 weeks. And next Thursday, keep repeating it, Alan Davis, 7:45. Please donate. We're going to put the link up again because we're that close to reaching the 13K figure tonight. Let's move on to the last round. Question 1. It's a music round. The latest bid, by the way, for the other stuff is 175 quid from Aidan Ganley. Well done. And Jess Dibble says she won't curse me if I send Poppy Kitto a high five. High five. High five. Let's move on to the music round. Which American rapper was born Sean Corey Carter in New York City in 1969? Which American rapper was born Sean Corey Carter in New York City in 1969? I have to say thank you to my daughter Lizzie for giving me the phone so I can communicate with the Lily family. Oh, we're on 12,944 quid. That's fantastic. Can we reach 13K? Question 2 in the music round. The last round tonight. Which artist did Dua Lipa support on tour in the US, Australia, and New Zealand in 2017-2018? A. Taylor Swift, B. Madonna, or C. Bruno Mars? Which artist did Dua Lipa support on tour in the US, Australia, and New Zealand in 2017-2018? A. Taylor Swift, B. Madonna, or C. Bruno Mars? This is the music round. I'm useless at it. Every week in our team, the Grumbling Gits will tell you that. I think I got 1 right last week. We're near the end of the round. My daughter Lizzie also cut my hair today. It looked dreadful beforehand. I think she's done a good job. It's only 16. Question 3. Which song gave the Beatles their first US #1 hit? Which song gave the Beatles their first US #1 hit? US #1 hit. Which song gave the Beatles their first US #1 hit? Bruce Eddy up there in Sapey has bid 225 quid for those shirts and the mug. Thank you very much from Bruce, my cousin, stroke brother, stroke grandmother. Question 4. Oh, Bruce, you've been outbid. Kitty Banks has come up with 250. Kitty's come up with 250. Well done. Question 4 for you in the music round. Calvin Harris teamed up with which English singer to top the charts with the single Promises? Calvin Harris teamed up with which English singer to top the charts with the single Promises? That was last year, wasn't it? That's question 4. And again, if you missed any of these, I'll repeat them in a minute. Steve McKenzie's putting them up on the right-hand side for you on your screen if you're doing it through YouTube. Shout out to Adam Rose and his wife in Newcastle who are smashing it, sort of, says Sarah Povey. Let's move on. Question 5. Name the pop group based on these band members: Terry Caldwell, Brian Harvey, John Hendy, Tony Mortimer. Name the pop group based on the band members Terry Caldwell, Brian Harvey, John Hendy, Tony Mortimer. Got 3 questions left in tonight's quiz. Love to confirm we've gone over 13 grand. Please shout, Gramps, wake up! We're on a WhatsApp call with him for the quiz and he's past his bedtime, says Emma Wilson. Gramps, wake up! Question 6. Who had a 2017 hit with Chained to the Rhythm? Who had that hit in 2017 with Chained to the Rhythm? Two questions left. I'll repeat them. I know Steve's doing a great job for you, and thank you for all your shout outs tonight, and thank you for all your money, whether it's donations or pledges for the shirt, and that is fantastic. Thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget, www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk is the charity website to find out so much more about us. Share the link to the quiz, encourage your friends to join in, or just read about us. If you just read about us, we know that you care. You know you're supporting us. Question 7. Before question 7, or shall I tell you the news? I'll give you the question first. Which band with a duplicated name gave us Broken Wings in 1985? Which band with a duplicated name, that's the clue, gave us Broken Wings in 1985? The reason I'm paused, I have to keep typing in Lizzie's code for the phone so I can get the news up that we have raised £13,038. £13,038. Thank you so much. We're over 13k. That's brilliant. And the last question for tonight, question 8 in the music round. Name this 1990 song. I stop and stare at you. Walking on the shore, I try to concentrate. My mind wants to explore. Name the 1990 song. I stop and stare at you. Walking on the shore, I try to concentrate. My mind wants to explore. Peter McLeod says, please give a shout out to his colleagues Sarah, Adam and Paul for helping him celebrate his birthday night tonight. Top team. So all right, shout out to Larissa, Miles and Pete. Kitty says, hi to Tara. Marcus shaved his head just like you. You look better. Says Kitty back there than me. Or anyway, Susie Sago again says, yay. Charlie Whitfield says, yay. Anna Holmes says, hooray. Is that because we're coming to the end? Okay, we've had the 8 questions. I'll repeat them for you, the music questions. Which American rapper was born Sean Corey Carter in New York City in 1969? Which artist, number 2, which artist did Dua Lipa support on tour in the US, Australia, and New Zealand in 2017, 2018? Was it A, Taylor Swift, B, Madonna, or C, Bruno Mars? Question 3, which song did the Beatles have as their first US #1 hit? Which song gave the Beatles their first US #1 hit? Question 4, Calvin Harris teamed up with which English singer to top the charts with the single Promises? Question 5, name the pop group based on the band members Terry Caldwell, Brian Harvey, John Hendy, and Tony Mortimer. Question 6, who had a 2017 hit with Chained to the Rhythm? Question 7, which band with a duplicated name gave us Broken Wings in 1985? And question 8, name this 1990 song, I Stop and Stare at You, Walking on the Shore, I Try to Concentrate, My Mind Wants to Explore. I've just realised Susie and Charlie and Anna and Dale Keegan, they were yaying and hurraying and awesoming because we passed that 13,000 a mark. So thanks to them, and apologise for me being a little bit slow on the uptake. Not the first time in my life, and won't be the last. Mark Aces, well done everyone from Team Ivy. All right. 2 or 3 minutes to think about those questions, and then I'll give you the answers. This is a good beer. Other beers are available. Claire from the Lily Foundation bought me these today. So thank you wherever you're watching and competing, taking part. Whether it's California, Upper Sapie in Worcestershire, from Newcastle, all over tonight. They've been Scotland. So thank you very much for joining in. Michael Rutt says he knew nothing about me till the JP round, but now he knows he loves me. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Jabba says he'll be donating to the Lily Foundation and will spread the word about the quiz. Thank you very much. They've been fantastic, that team, over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Emily Powell says we weren't too slow tonight. It's been fab. Thank you very much. David Evans, well done everyone from Team Sebi. And Charlie says well done, Big Charlie. Well done, JP. Thanks. Big heart to Big Charlie. Let's give the question answers then to the music round. Put you out of your misery. Which American rapper was born Sean Corey Carter in New York City in 1969? Jay-Z. Which artist did Dua Lipa support on tour in the US, Australia, and New Zealand? The answer was C, Bruno Mars. Which song gave the Beatles their first US #1 hit? And it was the US, not UK. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Calvin Harris teamed up with Sam Smith to top the charts with the single Promises. Answer number 4 was Sam Smith. Number 5, name the pop group based on their band members. Terry Caldwell, Brian Harvey, John Hendy, and Tony Mortimer. E17. Who had that 2017 hit with Chained to the Rhythm? It's Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Which band with the duplicated name gave us Broken Wings in 1985? Mr. And name the 1990 song I Stop and Stare at You, Walking on the Shore, I Try to Concentrate, My Mind Wants to Explore, Mysterious Girl by Peter Andre. Mysterious Girl by Peter Andre. And that's it. He ran the London Marathon, Peter Andre, once with what's her name, the model from down here in Sussex. They were married. I forgot the name. What's her name? Anyway, and they had a sort of phalanx of people guarding them. And he ran the London Marathon, which I'm lucky enough to run 5 times the Lily Foundation with my brother-in-law Dave, Lily's dad. He's run it 10 times. It's a way of raising money for the Lily Foundation. as this was tonight, as the last couple of weeks have been, as next Thursday will be, I hope, with Alan Davis at 7:45, because we've missed out on so many big fundraising events due to the lockdown. Whatever you're doing, stay safe during the lockdown. There, Keegan got 5 out of 8. That's Sue Roberts, 5 out of 8. Manky Sausage loves Peter Andre. Andrew Smith got 2 out of 8. Gemma Hayward just 2 out of 8 in that round. Oh, lots of people saying they didn't do very well, but they've had a great night out, which is all that matters. Team Tizzy got 8 out of 8, says Helen Ray. And the Gremlin gets 7 out of 8, 33 out of 40. 33 out of 40. That's the best we've had so far. Andrew Smith 24 out of 40 over the night. Del King 27 out of 40. Josie Hum 24 out of 40. Whoop Whoop Team Grimwoods and Spencers. Well done to them. Barry Como 25 out of 40. Thank you very much, JP. Liverpool FC says, hope they can win the title in front of fans. Hope that happens. Yes, they've been by far and away the best team in England this season. Dino Adino got 28 out of 40. Anna Holmes says, thank you very much for the quiz. But it's thanks to the Lily Foundation for asking me to do it. Thanks everyone for taking part in it. Susie's team, Susie said, got 28 out of 40. Big Charlie Whitfield's team got 22. And I love, from me to all that family, of course. Ruby Head's team got 18. Kerry Vella got 20. Best that Kerry and Sean have ever done, so well done. John Glynn got 35. Keep the Grumbling Gets, so they're the best so far. Sue Roberts' team qualified for the Europa League. Andy Wilkins got 23. Alison Griffith, 8 out of 40. Have fun, great cause. And lots of people are putting up the scores. So carry on up there on the right-hand side of the screen. It's Thursday next week. Emma Wilson to answer your question. It's Alan Davis, who's raised money for the Lily Foundation, taking part in quizzes and winning them on television. And he's a fantastic guy. He's been in our comedy night, that's February. We have a ball a little bit later on in the new year. We have a fight night. We have the darts flight night, which is really good, just behind Victoria Station. We have golf days and various other things. So there are events you can find out about on the Lily Foundation website, www.thelilyfoundation.org.uk. Please tell your friends and family about the Lily Foundation. Spread the word, because that's how we've done it, really, from nothing, from losing Lily in those desperately dark days in the wilderness, in a silent black void, with the support only of our family, to suddenly having this fantastic mitochondrial family of friends who are suffering from the disease, who have children suffering from the disease. It's word of mouth, and that's how it's gone. That family now includes you, because you've taken part tonight. So as the scores keep coming in, thank you ever so much. Please check the link on the right-hand side of your screen to donate money. Charlie Whitfield says, see you next week, everybody. And thank you ever so much for taking part. And thank you very much for thinking of the Lily Foundation, because it really means a great deal to us all. Thank you. That's myself. Cheerio.